in this video, I want to talk to those of you who sometimes fear that this dream of becoming a physical therapist may never come true, right? Whether it's because of past experiences, so maybe past rejections, or whether it's because of having a low GPA, whether it's just internal fears.
Turning dreams into reality in the lab with the...
Hey, what is up? How you doing? My name is Joseph Ngugi. I'm a physical therapist, also one of the co-founders of Pre-PT Grind, where we help you get into physical therapy school without wasting time or money. So if you are new to this page, welcome. If you're interested in becoming a physical therapist, you're on the right page. Be sure to, of course, like, subscribe, and share this out if you find value in it. But in this video, I want to talk to those of you who sometimes fear that this dream of becoming a physical therapist may never come true, right? Whether it's because of past experiences, so maybe past rejections, or whether it's because of having a low GPA, whether it's just internal fears, right? Like yesterday I had a call with a student who basically said that the biggest roadblock for them was themselves, right? They have weeks where they're just super low and they fear that, man, this is never going to happen. There's other students that have much higher GPAs than me. There's other students that are younger than me. There's other students that have more observation hours than me, that have more experiences than me, and all these layers. And this student basically said, like, whenever I look at that, it overwhelms me and it makes me realize, man, I might not be good enough, and I may never be good enough, right? And so I want to talk to those of y'all that feel that way, because one reason why we even do these trainings, and one reason why we always say that anyone can get into physical therapy school if they're willing to do the work, if they're willing to, do certain things. Anyone can get into physical therapy school, like with certain strategies, of course. I'm not gonna, overlook that. But the reason why we say that is because I truly believe that becoming a physical therapist is a calling for many people, right? And whenever I ask questions like, hey, like, what's your backup option, or what else do you want to do? Is there anything else that you want to do more than becoming a physical therapist? Whenever someone tells me, no, there's nothing else that I want to be more than becoming a physical therapist, then I'm like, well, that is like we would basically be settling for something that's far less than what will fulfill you when it comes to your career, right? And so if you know that physical therapy is what fulfills you, then how do we navigate through the moments where it feels like this dream of yours, this thing that you're like, man, this is how I want to serve people, this is how I want to give back to my community, but I fear that it might not happen. I fear that I might not be good enough. I fear that every single time I go to apply, I'm just going to get rejected because schools are going to see all of these other students that have more qualifications than me, that are more experienced than me, that are better prepared for PT school than me, that have higher grades, all this stuff, better GRE scores, all the things that we tell ourselves. And so in those moments, here is the one question that I want you to ask yourself, because basically what this is, it's a belief issue, right? And so our belief is basically leading us to think that we're never going to like it's never going to happen. And so one question that I did tell a student recently to start asking themselves is, when I'm at my lowest, right? Yes. Are there different things that you can do, like, change your focus and all? Yes. Okay. But for this particular video, I want to ask you, like, whose belief do you need to borrow? Whose belief do you need to borrow? That's the question I want you to ask yourself. So here's what I mean by that. When we're at our lowest, there are times when it's just hard to pull ourselves out, and we need to be able to have someone that basically believes in our dream for us, right? This is why it's important to have a community around you of people that believe in you more than you believe in yourself. Like myself, Casey, like we will preach that to the end and back. Like that's why, with our coaching programs and all this, and even stuff that we're in, like we are students, we have mentors as well. Like we want to always put ourselves around other people that we look up to, other people that have basically been down that path before, other people that understand that it's super possible even when we feel like it's impossible, right? But what we're doing in those moments is borrowing their belief, basically taking their certainty and saying, you know what, I'm willing to bank on what you believe. I don't really see it for myself, but you see it in me. You see my ability to get into PT school, whether it's a mentor, whether it's a friend, whether it's a family member, whoever, like find at least one person in your life who believes in you even when you're at your lowest, who believes in your ability to become a physical therapist even when your GPA is low, who believes in your ability to become a physical therapist even after receiving all rejection, who believes in your ability to become a physical therapist even after a semester of not doing well, who believes in your ability to become a physical therapist even after taking the GRE for the third time and not getting the score that you need. Whose belief do you need to borrow? Because there have been many times in my journey, in Casey's journey, in many of our students' journeys, where we have all had to borrow the belief of somebody else, because in that moment it was just like, it was difficult to believe in ourselves, right? And then we borrowed it long enough to now build our own confidence in our own ability to get into PT school or to get into the next stage of our careers. And so for you as a student, when you're at that point, like it's super important. Like if you're at the point where you're like, I'm really having a hard time believing in myself, ask yourself, whose belief can I borrow temporarily? But like, whose belief can I borrow? And am I around people who will believe in me even when things fall apart? Because if you're around people that basically tell you, hey, look for a backup option, find something else, maybe PT's not gonna work out, PT school's hard. Like sometimes that's family members, sometimes that's our advisors. Like if you're around that a lot, it's going to like bring you down even more. It's going to increase your anxiety. It's going to increase your overwhelm. But if you ask yourself, hey, how can I put myself around other people that will continue to push me, that will continue to believe in me, that have been down this path before? And how can I borrow their belief long enough to then keep going and start to see, hey, this is super possible for me as well? Sometimes that's as simple as listening to the story of another student, right? So if you follow our Instagram account, we have a series called the Pre-PT Inspire series, where you're literally listening to the stories of other students, and they've all been coached by us, of course, but the stories of other students who have had ups and downs, low GPAs, past rejections, all the different things that cause stress for students. I can guarantee that at this point, because of how many episodes we've done, there's got to be someone on there that relates to what you're fearing right now. And you can, like, just in listening to their story, you are borrowing their belief. You're borrowing the evidence from their story and saying, wait a minute, if they can do it, then I can do it too. Does that make sense? And so that's the biggest question, and why this is important. And we say this over and over and over again, but this is important because what we always share with you is that the only way you don't get into this dream career of becoming a physical therapist is if you pull the plug, is if you quit, right? And so when we're having those doubts, when they start to build up, and when we're having voices and people around us that are saying, hey, you might want to consider something else. Hey, you might want to have a backup plan. Well, those things fuel that anxiety. They fuel that fear to the point where we might even consider pulling the plug. We might even consider quitting. And the one thing I can tell you about quitting is that there is always two types of students when it comes to quitting. I can almost guarantee if you've had some kind of struggle, like we have all felt like quitting at some point, right? But there are two types of students that we have seen, like over the past 8 years. What we have seen is that there's one group that says, I quit on my dream to become a physical therapist because of blank, whether it's my low GPA or past rejections or whatever it is, right? And the second group says, I almost quit on my dream to become a physical therapist because of my low GPA. Same reason. But the second group said, I almost quit. And that group, usually in those moments where they almost quit, they usually leaned on somebody else that believed in their dream more than they believed in it themselves at that point. So my question to you one more time, like, are you asking yourself this? Ask yourself, whose belief do I need to borrow? Like, whose belief do I need to borrow? And if you can start doing that, then you will give yourself enough momentum to keep moving forward, to keep taking step after step after step after step, so that you can get one massive step closer to your dream of becoming a physical therapist. And if you want to know where to start, if you want to have like a game plan of how other students have done it at their lowest, then go to rejectionproofprept.com. We have a training there that's literally 9 minutes and 51 seconds long, and it'll show you that blueprint that other students have leveraged who have been in your exact situation, who have had the same struggles that you're dealing with, how they did it, so that you can start leveraging not only their belief, but their blueprint, the path that they followed. So go to rejectionproofprept.com right now. Go watch that. Afterwards, we actually give you an opportunity to schedule a free strategy call with us if you want personalized help. And then we'll go from there. But just put yourself around people that believe in your dream more than you believe in it yourself. So whose belief do you need to borrow today? That's it. I hope you enjoyed this training. If you found value in it, please share this out with another pre-PT who would value hearing this, who is at their low point, who needs something to keep them moving forward. And of course, be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next training. Much love. Bye.